Hey guys, welcome back to Casks-n-Que, where whiskey and barbecue meet. I'm your host, Justin Lloyd, and today it's cast iron steak. Stick around. Okay everybody, so what we have here is a boneless ribeye that weighs about 1.75 pounds. We have some butter, minced garlic, salt and pepper and garlic powder. I use kosher salt and 16 mesh ground black pepper. And we also have a sprig of thyme. So inside of my Kamado, I have a cast iron skillet that's been sitting in there, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. I seasoned it with canola oil, and the reason I use canola oil is it has a high flash point. Right now our temperature is about 450 degrees, and so we're just trying to get that cast iron skillet screaming hot, so I'll just kind of show you how I have that set up. Got a good seasoned cast iron skillet, ready for some steak. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those ingredients that I showed you earlier. We're going to use a butter baste, and we're going to sear the steak and let it sit in that baste and continue to baste it until the internal temp reads about 125. Then I'll pull it, rest it for about 10 minutes, and then slice in, but you'll see all that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get our butter in there. Let that get good and melted. So the reason I like to use butter, some people use oil only, and that's fine. But I believe that butter has that nutty flavor. Kind of browns up, and I don't know, I just think it yields a better product. Go ahead and get our onion in there as well. You hear that sizzle? That's what you want to hear when you have a cast iron skillet that's been heating up. So you just want to make sure that thing is ripping hot. You don't want to put anything in there when it's not really ready. That's going to ruin your steak. And nobody likes a ruined steak. All right, garlic. We'll wait till everything melts down and these onions are nice and translucent. So we'll go ahead and close the grill for now, and then we'll come back and get the steak seasoned and throw it in there. Ow, shit, that's hot. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get the steak seasoned. I go pretty liberal with this. It's a thick cut of meat, and it can handle the seasoning. Like I mentioned earlier, we're using the kosher coarse salt, black pepper, 16 mesh black pepper, and there's a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of onion powder in here. Pat that down, flip it over. And don't worry, we'll hit those edges too. Got to get that flavor everywhere. Fat is flavor. Okay, so I'll just season the board right there, and that way we can get the edges. See, you learn something new from me every time, right? Actually, it's just being lazy. I'm good at that. What does it work? Smarter, not harder? Is that right? All right. Oh, let's not miss that fat cap. A little more. You know, some people say that the pepper, you shouldn't put that on there with the salt at first because it'll burn. Creates an awesome crust in my opinion. But you do it the way you want to do it. All right, looks good to me. All right, looks like we're ready to get that steak in there. This is gonna be a hot endeavor, so I'm definitely gonna use some gloves today. All right, here we go. So, let's go ahead and add that thyme in there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and close the lid so that we can get a little more even cooking. we just continue basting to add flavor and fat. Like I said, that butter is fat and it carries flavor. So the garlic, the thyme, and the onion and the butter all together, man, it's delicious. Now a lot of people use shallots. I didn't have any, and some people just use crushed garlic. I didn't have any garlic today, so this is the other method that I like, and that's what we're doing. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and temp this and see where we are. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and flip it. We're about 111. And we'll continue basting. Got a good little crust going. I like to make sure I get plenty of thyme in there. I try to dip it in the butter so that it adds a little bit extra flavor. Extra flavor profile, as they say. Got some flames kicking up, don't we? And I'll tell you what, this isn't something I want to do in the middle of July. It's hot. Woo-wee. It's hard to do this left-handed. I'm a righty, not a southpaw. But I want to make sure all you fine folks get a good view, because I'd be right in the way if I use my right hand. Just continue to baste. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and check temp again. Still not there. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the lid again to get more even cooking, just like we did earlier. And I'll be back. Okay, she's looking delicious. As the kids say, like a snack. So what happens is the muscle fibers in the meat tighten up when you're cooking, and you don't want to cut into it right then, because as soon as you do, all the juices come running out. So we like to wait until the steak is nice and relaxed, and then that's when you want to slice into it. Okay, I'm going to check temp again. $122 right there. 125 right there. I think we're done. Look at those flames coming up. That's hot, people. That's hot. Okay. So let's just grab this guy. Okay, guys. So one of the things that I was worried about happening actually did happen. I had my phone too close, so I use my iPhone to record these videos. Had my iPhone too close to the grill, and it overheated. So I don't know how much footage I lost, but we're going to find out in post-production. Anyway, this steak has been resting for about 10 minutes. Man, it's just really juicy. That's why we baste. You see these juices right here. I mean, that's just gonna be delicious. So just to recap, we cooked this to about 125 internal. I pulled it, let it rest for 10 minutes. And as I mentioned before, the basting just really takes it to the next level. So this is something you should definitely try. So let's go ahead and get into this guy and see what we have. Yep, just what I thought. Looks like a perfect medium rare to me. Now you know I gotta have a slice of this. Man, look at all that juice. It's ridiculous. Man, is that not a thing of beauty? It's a great way to cook a steak. Here we go. Oh my God. Dude. Freaking delicious. Listen, I know this mic is close to my mouth, and you guys are gonna hear some annoying chewing noises. I don't care. It's so good. Kind of like Frank the Tank said, so good when it hits the lips. Man, you can take one of these little bites and just kind of mop up that salt, pepper, butter, and it is steak heaven. You gotta do this, man. Y'all have to cook this stuff. And spend the extra money on a good steak. I mean, it's better to spend, like in my opinion, I'd rather have one good steak than 10 or 15 average ones. And this is definitely good. Is this the best steak I've ever cooked? Hell, I don't know, it might be. It's freaking delicious. Sorry for all the smacking. It's one of those sorry, not sorry kind of things. So what I think separates a great steak from just a good steak or an average steak is really the quality of the meat and the way that you cook it. So you have to really pay attention when you're cooking a good ribeye. It has a lot of fat content, which is a good thing. Fat is flavor. You know, fat carries those flavors that you add to the steak. So today we sauteed some onions, we had some minced garlic in there and some thyme, and that butter is fat. So as we basted that steak continuously throughout the cook, that added another dimension of flavor. Man, it's just freaking awesome. You gotta try this. It has, you know, using a cast iron skillet that's just screaming hot really adds a good crust. You know, as opposed to a grill where you'll have grill marks. Sometimes it's good just to have an actual crust that covers the whole steak. Thanks for stopping by Casks-n-Que, where whiskey and barbecue meet. We'll see you next time.